Vasilisa of the Midnight Lantern, a dark Parisian fairy tale of light shadows, and the girl who walked into them. All right, before we begin, I want you to slow down, relax your shoulders, take a deep breath in, and let it go. Now, let the noise fade away. Forget your stress, your worries, everything that's been sitting heavy on your chest, because right now, you're stepping into my little world of fantasy, a world where shadows whisper, where light is not always safe, and where courage is the only thing that keeps you alive. Welcome to Paris. Not the Paris you know, not the one of lights and laughter, but a quieter Paris, a hidden Paris, one that breathes beneath the surface of Paris, in forgotten streets, behind locked doors, and inside stories no one dares to tell. In a small, fading apartment tucked between narrow alleys lived a girl named Vasilisa. She was not rich, not powerful, not noticed, but she had something rare, a quiet strength. Her mother had given her one thing before she died, a small doll, simple, wooden, fragile. But her mother had whispered something strange as she placed it in her hands. Feed it, and it will guide you. Vasilisa never understood what that meant, but she kept it, always. After her mother was gone, life changed. Her father remarried, and with that came the darkness. Her stepmother was cold, not loud, not cruel in ways people could easily see, but sharp, calculated, watching. And her two stepsisters, they were worse. They didn't just dislike Vasilisa, they erased her, turned her invisible, made her life a quiet kind of suffering. Every day, work, every night, silence, and slowly the light inside her began to fade, until one night everything changed. The power went out, not just in the apartment, not just in the building, but across the entire street. Darkness swallowed everything. Her stepmother's voice cut through it like a blade. Well, if you want light, go get it. Her sisters laughed, because they knew, everyone knew, there was only one place left in that part of Paris where light never went out. A place no one returned from. An old house, deep beyond the edges of the city. A place whispered about in fear. A place that didn't exist on any map. They called it the House of the Witch. And that night, they sent Vasilisa there alone. She stepped out into the cold Paris air. The streets felt wrong, too quiet, too empty, as if the city itself was holding its breath. Her hands trembled. So she did the only thing she could think of. She took out the small doll, and for the first time, she gave it a piece of bread. For a moment, nothing happened. Then slowly, its eyes opened. "Do not be afraid," it whispered, and just like that, she wasn't alone anymore. The journey was long, longer than it should have been, because the deeper she walked, the less Paris felt like Paris. Streetlights flickered, shadows moved when they shouldn't, the air grew colder, heavier, until finally she saw it, a house, standing alone, crooked, alive, and surrounding it were lanterns, but not ordinary lanterns. They were skulls, glowing, watching, breathing. Vasilisa froze. "Go forward," the doll whispered. So she did. The door creaked open before she could knock, and from inside, a voice, old, sharp, amused. "I've been waiting." The witch stepped into the light. Her eyes burned like embers. Her smile was not human. "You want fire?" she said. "Then you must earn it." And so began the trials. She was given impossible tasks, sorting grains in darkness, cleaning things that never stayed clean, working until her hands shook and her body begged her to stop. But every time she faltered, the doll guided her, helped her, saved her. Days passed, or maybe nights. Time didn't exist in that house, and all the while the witch watched, waiting, testing. until finally she spoke again. "You are not like the others." Vasilisa didn't respond. "You're not empty," the witch continued. "You still have light." And that was the most dangerous thing of all, because the witch didn't hate darkness. She fed on it. But light threatened her, so she made a choice. She handed Vasilisa a lantern, skull, burning with unnatural fire. "Take it," she said, "and leave." Vasilisa hesitated. "Go," the witch smiled. "But remember, light reveals everything." The journey back felt shorter, or maybe she had changed. When she reached home, the apartment was silent. Too silent. Her stepmother and sisters sat in the dark, waiting. "You came back," they whispered. Vasilisa said nothing. She placed the lantern on the table, and for the first time, the room filled with light, but not warm light. Truth. And in that light, everything was revealed. Their cruelty, their hatred, their emptiness. They screamed because the light didn't just show. It consumed. And before Vasilisa could move, they were gone. Not dead, but erased, like they had never existed. Silence filled the room. Vasilisa stood there, breathing, shaking, alive. The doll in her hand grew still once more, its purpose fulfilled. And so, Vasilisa walked out into Paris again. But this time, she was not invisible. Not because people saw her, but because she finally saw herself. And that changed everything. Because in a world full of shadows, the most powerful thing you can carry is your own light. So remember this: if you ever find yourself lost in the dark, if the world feels heavy, cruel, endless, there is always a light. But be careful, because once you find it, it will show you everything, and not everyone is ready to see the truth.